Let me bring it on set. Former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State Joel Rubin. Joel, it's good to have you on. And you've been on before talking about Nikki Haley back in the beginning of the administration when it was rumored that she could end up in maybe the Secretary of State role. Remember that? That was a big discussion point early on. Your reaction to her departure?
Well, my first reaction is that this may be her getting out when the getting is good, because as we know, a lot of these nominees, a lot of these cabinet officials, their time runs out and eventually it's time for them to get pushed out. So she's leaving on a high.
She's also, we are now getting new notes from the Oval Office, from the reporters in the room. She's saying she's not running in 2020. She's going to campaign for Donald Trump, which you can imagine sitting in the Oval is something the president is enjoying hearing.
Well, he certainly is right now, because to have her as a validator, in particular during the Me Too movement and post-Brett Kavanaugh hearings, where she can get out there and really rally Republican women in particular, that's going to be a strong validator for him. But I also want to say there are some good choices potentially for his agenda at the UN that could get through a divided Senate, like Joe Lieberman, Kelly Ayotte. There are a lot of others who would carry that kind of position that she's been advocating.
The president is playing coy about who will be her successor, saying simply, we have a number of people who would like to do it, and calling it a more glamorous position than it has been in the past.
Thanks to Nikki Haley.
Thanks to Nikki Haley.
Glamorous. Well, the UN's not all just about parties and treats. It is about real work, and we need to have someone up there who's plugging away. I think that regardless of one's positions and views of her policy positions, she did work hard at the UN, and she did engender support from the people who worked for her as someone who was diligent in getting the job done for the administration.
You also got two policy points that have come up here in this Oval Office discussion, in particular, among the many that we've talked about today, but Iran and North Korea. These are two major focal points for this administration, two things that Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Ambassador Haley, soon to be former Ambassador Haley, have worked on. Joel, she's talking about how North Korea, you look back to December of 2016, boy, we're in a different place.
We really are. We're at inflection points.
Rhetorically, let's say.
Rhetorically.
If not on the ground.
But both policies are moving in opposite directions in many ways. We have on North Korea, we have a situation now where the president is being teed up to get a second meeting with Kim Jong-un, post the Mike Pompeo visit there this past weekend, looking to see real denuclearization move forward. And at the same time, on Iran, there are real concerns that the U.S. is beating the drums of war towards Iran, and it will need to use the UN as a pedestal, as a platform, really, to advance that policy. So both policies going in opposite directions here.